Hi there. So, in this video, I'm going to give you 5 suggestions for things that you can make a part of your daily life, which will help you to not add second fear. Now, I've already spoken about not Googling your symptoms, not spending time on in forums, on Facebook groups. Getting information is essential, but there has to be a line between seeking information and seeking reassurance. Very often, once we have understood how anxiety works and what panic attacks are, what's happening in our body, you may see that you tend to go back to these videos, or you're again going onto forums and making posts and asking that are these symptoms of anxiety, or has anybody experienced things like this before. And that's when you should be able to realize that you are seeking reassurance and not information you already know, but you're scared. Seeking reassurance is in a way feeding your fear, which is why you need to have some things that you will do so that it makes it easy for you to not add second fear. The first thing I will suggest is you need to keep yourself occupied. Now, what I mean by this is whatever it is that you are supposed to be doing. So, let's say you are in school, or you're in college, or you are in a job, or you're a stay-at-home mom, or you manage your home. Whatever it is, get up and do it. Do it slowly, do it half heartedly. If in the beginning you're finding it very difficult to do it with your mind in two places, where one part of it you feel is still afraid, is still somewhere scanning the body, yet you're doing it. So don't take a break from whatever it is that you are meant to be doing. If your current day schedule is such that you have a certain routine where you have work to do and that keeps you busy, but you find that because of the anxiety you were kind of going into the shell, or retracting from work, retracting from your responsibilities, first go back to doing all of those things, whether it was cooking, whether it was going to work, whether it was going for your attending your school, your college, your classes, whether it was doing your household chores, whatever it is, keep on that. If your schedule is such that you don't have much work to do, I'm not just talking about your occupation in general, maybe you're retired, or you are on a break and you have a lot of time where you are free, I would suggest then you take up something new. Take up learning something new. Take up maybe you can find some volunteering work, maybe you can find a part-time job, maybe you can decide to help somebody with their work, but consciously decide to do something. When my symptoms were very high and I found that I was spending a lot of time scanning my body, I had started taking singing lessons. Now, I had work to do, and I was very much working from home, which meant that I was spending a lot of time alone. And my life situation was such that I knew I could not commit to going out of house and working, or going out of house and attending any classes. So I took up online singing lessons, which I did for a couple of months. I'm not a great singer. The teacher was great. It's not that after those singing lessons my singing improved or anything, but what it did for me is I enjoy music. I enjoy singing. Okay, it has no connection with my singing skills, but I enjoyed it, so I decided to take up singing. That interaction with another person was very beneficial for me. For that 1 hour, I was engaged in the class. I was engaged in our lessons. There were moments where I would feel that my palpitations have suddenly started, or the dizziness is there, but I continued with the class. At no point did I tell my teacher that, oh, listen, I'm not feeling well, I want to take a break. I continued with the class. Also, singing is such a thing that you it relaxes you because it involves your vagus nerve and all of those things. But I would suggest, don't choose a hobby or don't choose to learn something new because of the benefits that it will offer you or because of how it helps anxiety. Choose something that you think you will be able to do. Choose something that you anyway enjoy. And if it is something that you have never done before, it's something completely new, it would be even better, because when you're learning something new, your brain works in such a way that you will be completely engaged, completely attentive to it. So you will not have the time or the mental space to focus on what's going on in your body, or the fact that you have anxiety or any of those things. So keep yourself occupied. You need to remember that when I say keep yourself occupied, don't fill up your day with things to do. Don't keep your day packed and furiously work, or just become an absolute workaholic so that there is no time to think about your symptoms or there's no time to think about anxiety. That's not what we are doing. But when you are idle and you are spending a lot of time alone, you will find it a little bit more challenging to not add second fear or to let your body be. So that's the first thing. Keep yourself occupied. If you already have work to do and you find it difficult to get out of bed, make it a habit, no matter however slowly or however half-heartedly you're doing it. But get up and do it. Just put one foot in front of the other, and with time, just keeping at it, you will see that things are getting better and you're getting on with things. Now, in this video, we are going to talk about the importance of socializing. Why is socializing important and something that you have to put effort in and you need to focus on if you want to recover from anxiety? If you're one of those people who is a loner, who doesn't like socializing, and you think, 1 minute, this is not for me, then no, wait. I understand that you may not like socializing, you like to keep to yourself, but consider this as a part of your recovery journey. It's not something that you have to do lifelong or change the person that you are. But for a couple of months, it is something that you should focus on and something that will benefit you immensely. Why is socializing important? When you are socializing, when you're interacting with others, you are focusing your attention outward, because anxiety thrives on being inwardly focused. What's happening to my heart? What's happening to my body? What's happening to my stomach? Are those dreadful feelings still there? When you're engaging with somebody, you're listening to them, you're talking to them, you're interacting with them, even if you're doing it half-heartedly or you're doing it lightly, you are focusing your awareness outwardly, and that helps to reduce the awareness on your own symptoms, on your own body. So the first thing, it's just something that will naturally help you to not add second fear and to not keep scanning your body. The second important reason why you should be doing this is that just being in the company of safe people, your people, and spending time with them helps your nervous system feel safe. Now, we all have people who are our people, and we all know people who are triggering for us, whom we rather not meet. Now, please don't go and meet those people. In fact, if there is an opportunity to meet such people when your anxiety is high or when you're recovering from anxiety, I would suggest that avoid it. Those are not the people we're talking about. We're talking about the people who make us feel safe, the ones we enjoy talking to, the ones who listen to us, our friends, our family, our loved ones. You will have to probably open up and tell them what you're going through. That's the first step. And secondly, we're all busy with our lives and we all make plans that we should meet. Very often we don't. We all think we should call each other, but now with WhatsApp and our phones, we just end up chatting or responding or communicating with emojis. When you are wanting to recover and you are needing the social interaction, my suggestion would be to pick up the phone and tell your these two three people, your core people, what you are going through. um, that is something that I did. And there are these two, three friends of mine whom we are close to. But when I took the time and I decided to open up and tell them that, listen, this is what I have been going through, they immediately got into action and made sure that they were calling me more often. We were generally talking more often. We all realized that we hadn't been talking or sharing so much about what's going on in our lives. And speaking on the phone is much different than chatting. We all thought that we all are busy and just went on with our lives. But when I told them that this is what is happening, we also decided to meet more often. When you tell the people around you that this is what you need to help you recover, it becomes easier for them to give it to you, because very often they don't understand or they don't know, or we are so afraid of being vulnerable that we don't share. So when you are looking for social interaction, you may be having to take a little bit more effort. You may be required to pick up the phone and call up and ask, do you have the time to meet today? I could come over to your place, let's catch up for coffee. And you may also have moments where you feel that I don't want to do this, but still go ahead and do it, because that will help you immensely. I know it helped me immensely. So that social interaction, just meeting, laughing, doing it scared, even if you're scared, just go ahead and do it. Going out and doing those things will help you. The third thing I want to talk about is just going out, because now that a lot of us are working from home, we there are days and days where we may not step out of house, because now everything is delivered to our doorsteps and we don't need to go out of house. And then it hits you that just going out of house feels like something so unusual. So make it a habit, make it decide that every day, at least once a day, you will step out of house. Whether that's just outside your house for a 5-minute walk, or whether it's for buying groceries, or whether it's for, if you are going to work, that's great. If you're working outside house, or if you have errands where you anyway have to go, that's great. But if you are confined to your home and you're not going out of house, then that needs to change. You need to make it a habit that the day doesn't end with you having stepped out of house and either at least taken a walk and come back home. If you can do it twice a day, then great, but at least once a day, make sure that you are going out of house. And when you're out of house, now if you have agoraphobia and you are finding it very difficult to go out of house, then I have made a separate video on that. The next video you can watch, where I will be talking about agoraphobia and what you should do about it. The next thing I want to talk about is the importance of slowing down. So, while I've spoken about keeping yourself occupied and picking up a new hobby or learning something new, going out and socializing, remember to not rush through the day, because when you're anxious, you want to get things done. You want to finish things off quickly, quickly, quickly. And maybe that was one of the things that fed your anxiety or that fueled your anxiety in the first place. So, whatever you are doing, see if you can slow down while doing it. If you're doing the dishes, see if you can slow down while you're doing it. Even when it comes to working out or going jogging, when your symptoms are very high, I would suggest that you do things which are slower, like yoga. Weight training is fine, but I wouldn't recommend a lot of cardio based activities. I wouldn't recommend running, jogging, all of those things. I would suggest slow restorative yoga, gentle stretches, things like that. And whatever you are doing otherwise, try to slow down the pace of that. When you're slowing things down, again, you're rewiring your brain, where you're telling your brain that you're safe, there's no danger, and there is no need for high stress hormones to be produced, because when you do things fast, it produces a feeling of stress in the body. So when you're slowing down, it tells your body that everything is calm, there's no danger around. In the context of this, another thing, now the last part that I want to suggest is to plan your day in such a way and your life in such a way such that you have fewer daily decisions to make. Now, why is this so crucial? There is a part of your brain known as the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for planning, for decision making, for rational thinking. And in anxiety, and when you're going through panic attacks, this part of your brain is already overworked and it's not functioning at its best. So, if you are in a profession that requires you to make quick decisions or to make a lot of decisions during the day, that is something you cannot avoid, but you can simplify your life otherwise in other areas such that you're not having to take too many decisions. For example, you could have a simple weekly menu planned where you're simply deciding in advance what you will be cooking for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You could have the groceries bought or ordered in advance for those. You could have some meal prep done in advance for those. It's unbelievable the amount of stress something as simple or something as mundane as meal planning can put on a person. There was a study which found out that 60% of Americans say that meal planning causes them a lot of stress. And I'm sure it's not only restricted to America, but the rest of the world, especially now with different members of the family eating different kinds of food, having different food restrictions, diet restrictions, being on different diet choices. So that's one of the things that you can do and that you must do is plan your weekly menu. Dressing up, clothes, wardrobe, minimize it such that you're not deciding every day what you will be wearing, what you will be accessorizing with. Simplify and declutter your spaces, the spaces in your house, the spaces where you're working. Try and declutter those spaces. Daily decisions that you have to make for purchasing things, even when we're opening an app for something as simple as a toothpaste, if you want to buy, it's not as it used to be in the days gone by. Now every little thing has requires you to think and rethink, and you're still doubting whether you're making the right decision. Now this may seem that oh, everybody's doing it, but when you are having anxiety and you're recovering from anxiety, every little decision that you have to do during the day is going to add to the mental fatigue that you're already feeling. So plan in such a way that at least for the next 1 month or 2 months, where you're focused on your recovery, you are reducing the amount of decisions that you have to make. If you're having to make a critical or a large decision, something that's going to have a huge impact on your life, and you're feeling overwhelmed, rope in a friend, rope in a family member, a loved one, and discuss the pros and cons with them, and take that help you reach that decision. So I think this is the last thing that I want to talk about: decision making. Simplify your life in such a way such that you have fewer daily decisions to make.